Hello, reporting from Ubud, Bali, if you hadn't guessed by the beautiful lush surrounds here. In fact, I'm just behind the rice paddy fields. Is that what they're called? Rice paddy fields? I'm here with Helen. She's over there reading a book, reading about, she was reading Eckhart Tolle actually, some really powerful meditations that we're going to share with the group. Anyway, I'm here and there's like rice paddies behind me. Okay, and so there's like guys out there and they are banging instruments really loud as soon as a bird lands on the plants. It's really quite entertaining. So they're banging. There was one lady I connected with who was doing my nails. She, you might be able to hear that sound behind me. Yeah, we're talking about our children, and I was so close to saying that I'm really, really missing my children, and I'm glad that I didn't quite go into that space because I was asking her about her child, and her son is 2.5 years of age, and this lady is Balinese, and she married a man from Holland, and through whatever happens, I don't know her story, but she said that her son lives with the father in Holland and she hasn't seen her son for 18 months. Okay, and as soon as I heard that, I was like, wow. You know, like I was going to say that I miss my children because it had only been 24 hours since I saw them. You know, I'm very, very blessed. It's been a challenge for me to come away and to put this time aside, even though I'm working, I'm facilitating, but it is to take that time away off my children and who I miss dearly, yes. But I know that they're growing, they're strong, they have each other, they're 4 and 5 years of age now. They'll be with their grandmother as well. And, you know, you just realise it's like, you know, something just shows up in your life. Sometimes when you have this fleeting thought, and I nearly said the words, I miss my children so much. And I'm so fortunate that I didn't. And of course she showed up in my life. Of course the lady who was doing my nails hasn't seen her own son for 18 months. Because I need to get some perspective of how lucky and how fortunate I actually am. Okay? So that kind of leads me, I suppose, to talking about, you know, when we're asking something from the universe. So let's say we're looking at, it might be buying a new car, it might be starting a course or changing a business or whatever it might be. As soon as it starts off with just a simple thought, yeah? I can imagine myself doing painting, or I could imagine myself with a new car, whatever it might be. It starts off with that thought, yeah, or someone might say something that triggers something, and just watch how that thought, then you'll read something, you'll have a conversation about the matter with somebody else, and that is how, like when, and most of you are probably aware of that with what I've just said then, but what actually happens for us is that we can build on that times 100. But a lot of us fail to see the signs and we'll say, oh no, I just didn't, although people look back and go, oh yeah, now I can see how that showed up in my life, right? And this can happen in a positive or a negative sense. So what I'm saying is, right, we can actually start to use that to work for us. So let's just say right now that we want something to happen in our life, something to show up. It can be any of the Love Tank series and sections, which there'll be more on later. It could be home, it could be spirituality, health and fitness. Maybe you want to start a regular fitness regime. Okay, so ask the universe. I need a personal trainer to show up in my life. I need a deal on a gym membership to show up in my life. Yeah, maybe you're looking for a house. All right, I'm going to design this house. I want 4 bedrooms. I want it to be in this suburb. It needs a pool, or I want a north-facing kitchen, whatever the case may be. You need to write it out and describe to the universe exactly what it is you want. And rather than thinking, oh, I can't believe this has happened, like believe in it and bring it in. I know someone who's been looking for a house for over 12 months, right? In the same suburb that I know another person, both women, sort of similar age, both in their 50s, let's say, okay? Jenny, let's call it Jenny and Jenny, right? So Jenny's been looking for 12 months, thinking, oh, it's so hard, the search, I can't find anything. And this Jenny literally only really started looking, and she said, I want, and I was only talking to her last night, she's here on a tree actually, she said, I want such and such, where it to be located, what it's going to look like, asked all the question, completely 100% agreed that it was going to come in. She went to an open for inspection, she went in with another friend and she said, I'm going to buy this property. And the friend was like, what, you can't, you talking about? She's like, this is everything I want. She put an offer on the place and she got it. She's already moved in. She moved in before she even arrived on retreat, right? The other friend is still looking for a place. There you are. That's it. It's proven, and I'm sure you know stories like that of other people. But why can't we have this for ourselves? And let's not limit ourselves. Why limit ourselves just to one thing? Or, you know, I want balance in my life, so I want to put an hour aside for me in the week. But I kind of also want to learn to do cooking, and I really would like to get a regular cleaner in the house. Ask for everything. Ask for whatever it is that you want, okay? And bring that into your life. Anyway, plenty more on the love tank and how to manifest exactly the life it is that you desire. Why? Because it's certainly worked for me. I'll tell you why I'm here in Ubud, Bali. Because one night, 6 months ago, my co-facilitator who's sitting over there, Helen, her and I decided to run a vision board night, okay? It was kind of selfish because I wanted to make a vision board. So we thought, let's turn it into a business and get all the Zenko yogis, and you know, we just bought all the boards, made it a Friday night, so much fun. And on that board, I put the word retreat. I also put some photos of pools and, you know, this sort of outlook, I guess. And so did Helen, supposedly. I didn't actually see her vision board, because we were both facilitating and obviously getting around to the rest of the group. And she went home that night and she called her mother in the UK and said, Mum, I think I want to run a Bali retreat. That night I went home and I'd spoken to one of my best friends who often comes up here to Ubud, Bali, and I said, I think it's time, I think I need a trip. Maybe I'll make it a holiday. I don't know if I can make it work, but I'll just put it out there. Helen rang me that night and said, I'm thinking about doing a retreat in Bali. I said, no way, I want to do it with you. I want to go to Bali at the end of the year. I'm thinking September, she thought August. So we thought, let's just put it out there. We went and found locations and got dates, and we thought, let the universe just create the date and the time. It all worked around Helen's sister coming to Bali and my sister. So Helen's been with her sister for the last 2 weeks. Mine's about to arrive tomorrow. Ta-da! Manifest. It happened for us. We asked for it. We did the research. So you've got to go and do everything to make it happen. We put it out there, and I kid you not, we asked for 10 people to come on retreat. We said 10 to make it worth our while, 20 obviously bonus, yeah. But we were like, we would really be happy with 10 given it's our first one. You know how many people are showing up today? 10, including my sister. So, and people are flying from Melbourne and Brisbane and Sunshine Coast. Yeah, I think that's everyone covered. To be here with us in Ubud, Bali, all because of a vision board night. A vision board night, in case you weren't aware of, is when you get these pin boards and grab a whole lot of old magazines, might be travel, food, lifestyle, and just start with just cutting out things. Just be really messy about it. Don't be sort of accurate and, oh, do I want that, do I not? Just cut out a whole lot of things. Like just when you turn the page, oh, that's just struck my attention. Okay, I did the same with my logo, would you believe? It's sitting on my vision board. That's another story. She's this gold, beautiful woman, and which is what I'm creating for my Love Tank series. Anyway, so you, vision board, cutting out all your magazine clippings, and then sit with all the clippings, sit with your pin board, and then just pick up whatever you resonate with, just pick it up, and keep pinning it down, and then, ta-da, you have a vision board. Now you let that sit in your house so you can see it every day, and I kid you not, your subconscious mind believes it to be true. And the day that I was sitting there trying to tell one of my colleagues about this logo idea that I had, I was like trying to describe it. I'm like, it's like this gold outline and she's got the chakras all coming up through a system, and I just can't really. And then all of a sudden, I remembered this vision that I had on my vision board. So I ran around to the shelf in the family room, grabbed it and I showed her, and there it was, top right hand corner, I kid you not, and I'll get a photo and show you the logo, the girl, the gold, the outline, the chakra system, talking about the crown chakra actually, which I'm really doing a lot of work with at the moment. So more on that in the Love Tank series, of course, about connecting with higher source. So there it was, you know, on the vision board. So that's two things, a retreat and the logo. I was just thinking my white Mazda wasn't on that vision board, but I did well to get that. Anyway, yogis, that's enough from me. I'll be filming plenty more content while I'm here. It's an honor to have you on the other side of the screen. All the best with your manifesting and asking for exactly what it is that you need, and believing and trusting in whatever it was that happens to you happens for a reason, so that we can grow. Namaste.